Hello and welcome. So we're live and the most important news break at this point in time. About a couple of hours now that Bangladesh is not traveling to India for the T20 World Cup. Asif Nazrul, the sports ministry advisor for Bangladesh, has posted on social media that he commends the Bangladesh Cricket Board. He commends the Bangladesh Cricket Board for deciding that Bangladesh will not travel to India for the forthcoming T20 World Cup. Let's first give you a sequence of events based on what we understand from our sources and the way we have been able to piece things together. Number one, the BCB initially was hesitant to pull out of the World Cup from Indian soil, and the BCB wanted to send the ICC a letter where sources say, so there's a caveat there, the BCB wanted to send the ICC a letter citing security concerns. They wanted to cite security concerns and send the ICC a letter. But once that was decided, the political establishment of Bangladesh decided to clearly harden the stance and said, no, there is absolutely no way that the BCB can send this letter to the ICC. Rather, they will have to make it very clear that it will not travel to India, citing security concerns. So this was a government hardline. The government decided that this is what is going to happen, and thereafter we see this post from Asif Nazrul saying that Bangladesh Cricket Board has unanimously, quote, unanimously decided that Bangladesh will not travel to India to play the World T20 in a month from now. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So what happens now? If Bangladesh is not coming to India, the ball is firmly in the ICC's court. What are the options in front of the ICC? By the way, it's an evolving situation and plenty will still happen. There is, by the way, a media release from the Bangladesh Cricket Board, which says, and I quote, an emergency meeting of the Board of Directors was held this afternoon to discuss recent developments related to the ICC Men's T20 to be hosted by India and Sri Lanka. The board reviewed the situation in detail, taking into account developments over the last 24 hours, expressed deep concern over the overall circumstances surrounding the participation of the Bangladesh national team in matches scheduled to be played in India. Following a thorough assessment of the prevailing situation and the growing concerns regarding the safety and security of the Bangladesh contingent in India, considering the advice from the Bangladesh government, the Board of Directors resolved that the Bangladesh national team will not travel to India for the tournament under the current conditions. In light of the decision, Bangladesh has formally requested the ICC as the event authority to consider relocating all of Bangladesh's matches to a venue outside India. The board believes that such a step is necessary to safeguard the security and safety of the well-being of Bangladesh players, team officials, board members, and other stakeholders, and to ensure that the team can participate in the tournament in a secure and appropriate environment. The Bangladesh board looks forward to ICC's understanding and an urgent response on the matter. This is what the Bangladesh board has just now said. Now, this is fascinating. Clearly, there are four things here. There are four things here. One, Bangladesh is citing security considerations. Bangladesh is citing government. Gauri, can you play the release on the screen, please? Just play the release on the screen as well. Play the release on the screen. Bangladesh is citing security considerations. It has also cited what the government has told. Now, in such a situation, is no longer a cricket call. It is a government call. The moment it is a government call, it becomes, and there you go, that's the security release, the media release from the Bangladesh Cricket Board. Headline, BCB seeks relocation of T20 World Cup matches. Headline, BCB seeks relocation of T20 World Cup matches, as you can see, and that is now formal. That is now formal. What is interesting here? 3 points. Had it been a cricketing call, you could have said that the ICC will go ahead or can go ahead with the tournament without Bangladesh. But now this is a government call. Given that it is a government call and they have cited security, it is contingent on the ICC to take this seriously, and the relocation has to be considered. Because when India does not travel to Pakistan or Pakistan does not travel to India, there is a precedent, and it will be the security issue, safety and security of the players. Thanks, Gargi. Thanks for pushing this. So clearly, the moment it becomes a security issue and the player's security is cited, which is exactly what is going on at the moment, ICC will have to take this decision in the light of what it has done in the case of India or it has done in the case of Pakistan. That kind of muddles and complicates the entire situation considerably. Let me break this down for you. One, what will this mean logistically? What will this mean politically? What will this mean economically? Economically, it will mean nothing. Bangladesh is not Pakistan. Bangladesh is not even a blockbuster team. Bangladesh is not Australia. Bangladesh is not any of those sides. So will Bangladesh games result in tremendous amount of revenue loss? The answer is no. Bangladesh fans could have definitely traveled to Kolkata and Eden Gardens. Bangladesh had multiple games at the Eden Gardens. That could have been a really interesting affair because Bangladesh does have a real number of ardent, passionate, hardcore fans who love their cricket. So in that sense, some of these games you could have had reasonable crowds. Having said that, gate receipts aren't really important for the broadcaster. Gate receipts in the overall economic kind of grid really don't make much of a difference for the ICC. So economically, it's not a problem which is insurmountable or something that the ICC will be much bothered about. Politically and logistically. Now think about it logistically. The tournament is just 1 month away. It is not even 1 month if you consider the teams will travel and there are warm-up games to be played. India's first warm-up game is on the 4th of February, on the 4th of February at Navi Mumbai against South Africa. Now, if the tournament is just 1 month away, the Bangladesh games will have to be relocated, or if the ICC decides to relocate the Bangladesh games, then that is an absolute organizational nightmare. It means you will have to rejig the tournament schedule completely. It means broadcast plans will have to be totally changed. The plan originally was 2 games in India, 1 game in Sri Lanka on certain days, and broadcast was planned accordingly. Now, if Bangladesh games are also to be played in Sri Lanka, broadcast will have to be fundamentally changed, and everything kind of undergoes a transformation. Will that impact much in terms of the overall grid of the tournament, in terms of travel and things like that? Maybe not, because the distance between India and Sri Lanka isn't huge, but organizationally it could be a real challenge. As I said, broadcast will become extremely complicated if 2 games are played in Sri Lanka on the same day, because that's how on some days it had been planned. Secondly, politically, what does this mean? Politically, the Asian bloc doesn't exist anymore. India, Pakistan, already very strained. India, Bangladesh, already very strained, given what is happening in the last couple of days. Going forward, is there an Asian Cricket Council? Do people even see eye to eye? Will there be an Asia Cup? Can there be tournaments there? Can such things happen? What will happen to India's bilateral tour? It is completely up in the air. Can BCB hold on to this hardline political stance against India? Difficult to say, because frankly, if India doesn't travel to Bangladesh as a cricketing nation, India doesn't lose much. But in terms of revenue, it is an absolute windfall as far as the Bangladesh Cricket Board is concerned, if an Indian team travels to Bangladesh or to Dhaka. So that side is also pretty significant. Will things change post-elections? We will have to wait and see. At this point in time, The way Bangladesh political situation is, the instability is, the way the government is taking a hard line, it's very, very difficult to predict what will happen in about 6, 7, 8 months from now when the Indian tour is scheduled to happen. As far as the immediate is concerned, the whole logistical challenge that will now be on the door of Jai Shah and Sanjay Gupta as ICC chairman and CEO will be interesting to see how they navigate that, because as I said, this is more a political problem and they will have to deal with it accordingly. It cannot be that they deal with the Bangladesh cricket establishment citing cricketing issues because the government is backing this call. So that's where the matter is at this point in time. Which way do I see this going? Which way do I see this going? And I will answer questions. I don't see the ICC kind of being able to figure out a middle path. There is no middle path anymore. Now this is a kind of a point of no return. The developments in the morning, as I said, the Bangladesh Cricket Board wanted to write a letter to the ICC citing security considerations, but they were not taking the hard line that they wanted their matches moved out of India. That was in the morning. Thereafter, the political establishment of the country got in and they decided to up the ante and take the hard line. Asif Nazrul, the sports ministry advisor, had posted yesterday on his Facebook page, and he had said that he even wanted the information and broadcasting ministry to stop the telecast of IPL games in Bangladesh. Not that it will mean anything to the IPL. Secondly, he also said today that he welcomes the decision of the Bangladesh Cricket Board not to travel to India for the T20 World Cup. So that kind of Facebook post happened a couple of hours back, and now the BCB has formally issued a press release. This is the overall picture. We haven't yet heard from the ICC. We will have to wait and see which way this goes because okay, one second. This is from Bangladesh, hence needed to check. Okay, so this was a formal query from the Bangladesh Cricket Board, and they just responded to me with the same press release that they have sent. So that's the formal response that I get from the Bangladesh Cricket Board. Let me take questions. This is a pretty complicated issue, as you guys can understand now. One second. There are a number of questions already. Boriada, what happens to the travel plans of fans if the matches are shifted out of India so close to the tournament? Krishanu Day, that's up in the air. The travel plans of fans, you mean Bangladeshi fans? Because this is a call that has been taken by the Bangladesh Cricket Board in consultation with the Bangladesh government. The ICC or the Indian establishment will have nothing to do with it. I am assuming that there are no Indian fans who were planning to come and watch Bangladesh play at the Eden Gardens. If they were, maybe from Calcutta, that would be a very minuscule minority. But as far as Bangladesh fans are concerned, I asked this question yesterday as well. What about visas? Will they be issued visas? Will they be issued travel permits? What happens there? Now, if the matches move into Sri Lanka, if the ICC relocates the matches to Sri Lanka, Krishanu, they will have to change their plans. What happens to the larger grid? One doesn't know. One actually doesn't know, because clearly this is an unprecedented political situation, and it is a call that has been taken by the Bangladesh government. The Indian counterpart, as in the BCCI, has very little to do with it. The ICC will also have its hands tied, because what will the ICC do? It's a request from a Bangladesh Cricket Board or a member state based on a request or based on a recommendation by the government. Once it's a recommendation by the government, it becomes a completely different issue. It is no longer in the realm of cricket. It is now a political call. So your question is 100% valid, Krishanu, but the answer is the fans will, as always, suffer, because no one will give their money back if they had planned. No one will give their money back if they have already gone ahead and bought tickets. Buryada, is it Women's World Cup was organized in which sports? This question was asked to Amol Majumdar. Women's team in KBC answered, surprised anyone. First Women's World Cup was organized in which sport? Anshu, let's not trivialize the issue. I mean, let's not trivialize the issue at all. We are discussing this as a far more deep political issue today. What happened in KBC in 1973 is not really relevant now. If Amol does not know it, he will. I mean, Amol is not a quizmaster; he's a cricketer. So if he did not know, or the women cricketers did not know, that's fine by me. Then the funny part is Nashili. The funny part is India is much safer than Bangladesh. Uh, you know, these are opinions, and there will be a lot of this which will be said. And the problem is, the problem is when I think of, say, 2023 World Cup, I do see Pakistan having traveled to India. When I think of and was there any political issue there? No. But this is a clear statement from the Bangladesh government, and they have already taken a call. So is this a real security issue, or is this you're upping the political ante as a kind of political posturing based on what happened with Mustafizur Rahman? We all know what's going on. So let's be clear. Are you really concerned with security? Maybe not. Are you concerned with political posturing given the elections are coming in your country? Yes. Because after what happened yesterday, as I said, the BCB in the morning did not want to kind of move out, but the political establishment forced its hand, and the BCB can't do much about it. So this is a political call. Once it becomes a political call, then the ICC will have very little room but to exceed, because the government is saying our players cannot travel based on our security assessment. And that's where the buck stops. The moment you say security assessment, the buck stops there. You cannot do anything more beyond that. And that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is big time. Let me take further questions. Loads of questions have come. Onkon Ghosh, Buryada, ICC tournaments na khelle Bangladesh ki kono punishment pete hote pare. Onkon, the problem is Bangladesh na khelle noy. The ICC will now. So exactly like the Champions Trophy, India did not want to travel to Pakistan based on the security assessment by the Indian government. This is the same. Bangladesh doesn't want to come to India based on a security assessment which has been passed on by the government. This is not a cricketing call. How do you differentiate? If you have allowed India to play its matches in Dubai based on security issues, you will have to, Bangladesh government will say, we are not confident of security of our players. That's where the matter becomes complicated. Both you and I know that in India there would have been no security problem. We know that. But this is political posturing. So you must understand, Onkon, that there is a diplomatic and political posturing that is going on. What is this? Time will come when no country will come to India due to political tension. Who is saying this? Amisha. Is it? Fair enough. That's your personal opinion, which is ridiculous to the power, whatever. The political tension, by the way, Amisha, is not in India. The political tension actually is in Bangladesh. So the question of India, the political tension, and as we speak, Amisha, in the Hockey India League, nationalities of, I think, about 20 countries are plying their trade every single day. As you and I speak on this show, players are playing. The Royals versus the Tigers, the women's game is on, and the men's matches are on. So this idiocy of your statement is evident to everybody. As we speak, in the Badminton Indian Open, which will start next week in Delhi, we will see plenty of international stars landing on Indian soil. As we speak, the FIFA World Trophy Tour conducted by Coca-Cola is going to happen in Delhi on the 10th of January, where a global tournament, a trophy tour is happening. So to say what you are saying, basically you're an absolute idiot to having said this. I hope you get the point. Okay. Onkon, I've answered your question. Buria, the ICC tournaments, I've answered that. Roger Binney, whatever. Kolkata has a historically bad record of creating chaos. 96 World Cup semi-final was cancelled because of their bad behavior. There were several incidents. So what? What has this got to do with the Bangladesh game? Are you trying to say that it was Eden Gardens that's the problem? Then they would have said relocate our matches from Kolkata to another Indian city. No handler or whatever your name is. No handler. The point, no handler. Okay. So the point is, if you really think Kolkata was the issue, then you would have said relocate our matches to a different Indian city. That's not what you've kind of said. Bangladesh Cricket Board has gone ahead and said what it is saying. Rather, Bangladesh Cricket Board has gone ahead and said we will not play our games on Indian soil. It is not Kolkata that is the problem here. The larger story is the story here, no handler. Okay, what are the other questions? Onkon, don't spam. I've answered your question, my friend. Can ICC reject? Yes, ICC can indeed reject. But on what basis will the ICC reject cricket fan? Because the same argument was given by Pakistan when they did not want to travel to India for the Women's World Cup. The same argument was given by India when they did not want to travel to Pakistan. Security during the Champions Trophy, or for that matter, Champions Trophy, which was played in Dubai. And there is a precedent already in place as far as India and Pakistan are concerned. The Pakistan team played in Colombo during the Women's World Cup. So on what basis will you reject this? SCG pitch was better than MCG pitch. Baliganj house not relevant to my show today. Not really bothered about SCG pitch. Didn't you see threatening comments by the politicians in India? Threatening comments, the fact of the matter is I've seen a lot what has happened, but we have also seen what is going on in terms of political instability and attacks and persecution and religious intolerance that is continuously going on. If you are saying that would have resulted in security breach, as far as Pakistan is concerned, do you mean to say in 2023 or before 2023, who's your name? Kobiraj, before 2023, do you mean to say that there were no inflammatory comments made by politicians? But when the Pakistan team did come to India for the 2023 World Cup, was there a single security breach at all? The answer is a flat no. They played all their 8-10 games in India on Indian soil and nothing happened. So when you are talking about politicians and all, firstly, I don't take the fact of the matter is the government of India would have granted security. I am sure things would have been done, but now this is political posturing of a very different sort. So the Pakistani example, I think, will answer your question pretty well. No handler, not only Bangladesh cricket team, fans, journalists, other officials may not be safe in India. It is not a politically stable country. You think so? I would much rather say look inward, introspect, rather than anything else. Riots and mob lynching can be found in Indian papers. United States is not secure. No, Europe is not secure. United Kingdom is not secure. Russia is not secure. Middle East is not secure. What are you talking about, no handler? What are you talking about? You see mass shootings going on. You see Australia not secure. Do you not travel at all? India is as secure as any country in an international sporting event. Even Pakistan in 2023, there was not a single problem on Indian soil. The Hockey India League is going on. Commonwealth Games will come to India, has already been done. Multiple international events, including the World Cup of 2000, just concluded Women's World Cup has happened 3 months back. In October, November, which is 2 months back, the World Cup has happened in India. What nonsense are you even talking? Which world do you live in that you're talking about it? And if you're really trying to sort of larger story of the globe, then which country of the world are there, no political problems? In every country, name it, from the United States to the United Kingdom, to Europe, to countries of Asia, to Australia, to every country there are political problems. So don't give me this bullshit and think you can get away. BCCI should not do this kind of step. This kind of step actually isolated India. Not at all, Proshenjit. This is not the BCCI's call. This was a government call. This is nothing to do with the BCCI. uh, and by the way, in England, if you remember, our people, Rohit and Shubhan got abused in the United Kingdom. Does that mean that India will not travel to the United Kingdom? And is England, in United Kingdom very secure? There are no racist attacks in the United Kingdom. Usman Khwaja talking about racist abuse in Australia and undercurrent racism in Australia. So Australia is very secure, and India, for God's sake, is the world's greatest insecure place. Is it? Come on. According to you, how will ICC deal with it? I don't, Jyoti Panwar. I don't see ICC having much wiggle room with this one, Jyoti, for the reasons I told you. Because in the Women's World Cup, the fact that Pakistan played its games in Sri Lanka, the fact that Pakistan played the India game and its games in Sri Lanka, there is a precedent. The fact that India played all its games in Dubai during the ICC Champions Trophy, there is a precedent. So clearly, we know that there is a precedent, or there are precedents based on which, and this is where the ICC will have to take into account that this request has come from the BCB based on a recommendation by the Bangladesh government, and that's what makes it acutely political. So I don't see how the ICC kind of rebuffs Bangladesh, because then it will be cited that you have allowed Pakistan, you have allowed India. Is it an irony Bangladesh T20 team is being led by Liton Das? It's interesting. And let me give you another irony. Who's this? HS Chakraborty. Shakib Al Hasan is playing for a Mumbai Indians team in the Emirates franchise. That is the other irony, HS Chakraborty. Now, you might well say that Shakib Al Hasan will say that he resides in the United States. He lives in the United States, and that is why he is doing so. And that over a period of time, he will maybe even quit the citizenship of Bangladesh. But at this point in time, Shakib Al Hasan, the most decorated Bangladeshi cricketer of all time, plays for a Mumbai Indians franchise in an Emirates Cricket League. Do you see these developments hampering India's grand plans of hosting the Commonwealth Games? Look, these are interesting developments, but if these developments hamper, then what about the FIFA World Cup and the United States? If you see, global leaders are divided. The world is divided on Venezuela. We see what is going on with President Trump and Venezuela. You have seen Italy, you have seen the UK, you have seen the Prime Minister saying international law must be obeyed or followed. You have seen Latin American countries. You see that, right? And America is supposed to, Mexico, which has already condemned that. So Mexico and, okay, one second. So Mexico, you know that. So when we are talking about what happens to India's Commonwealth Games ambitions, what happens to India's Olympics ambitions, we must take into account what is going on in our world. We know what is going on with Venezuela and the United States, what has happened last night, and it's an evolving situation as well. So it's a very complex world. I'm not taking any positions here, but it's a very, very complex world is all that I will say. What is this? We just have a few countries who play cricket. On top of that, even fewer countries play in good standards. Pak and issues with Bangladesh harms the future of cricket. Harms the future of cricket in what way? Because you will say the sport will continue. The sport will continue to be played in neutral venues or neutral lands or other countries like in Sri Lanka or other countries. In what way will cricket get hampered? But I do see Bangladesh, if India doesn't tour, given the economic strength of India, Bangladesh cricket will suffer. There is no question that Bangladesh cricket will suffer. Who benefits more between India and Bangladesh? Bangladesh does. Does this harm cricket? Global cricket, India and Pakistan has been in this state for a while. Has it really impacted the global game? India and Pakistan, whether it's in Dubai, whether it's in Colombo, whether it's in England, is now a feature of our world, and we have come to accept that. Will we come to accept this reality with Bangladesh going over a period of time? We've got to wait and see. How will ICC deal with it? Crick 1, I have answered that question already, I think to Jyoti. I've answered that. How will ICC, which middle way come into the game? There is no middle path. What's the middle path? What is the middle path here? Anurag Malpani, Boryada, Happy New Year. Match between India versus Bangladesh, new hype after Pak match. When India speak, why there's talk about community starts by Parosi National. What is the question? New hype, yes, it is an Asian derby. And now, based on the political situation, will there be more hype, Anurag? Will there be more political tension where India versus Bangladesh plays? I think you are right. There will be. What happened to the show? Are I don't know what happened to the show. I think, yeah, sorry. Kind of something had happened to the problem. So Anurag, like I answered to you, I don't think there is much of a problem there, but there will be hype. There will absolutely be hype. Aniruddha Datta, Eden Gardens will be hosting inconsequential Italy matches. You know, if the schedule is rejigged, obviously Eden Gardens was hosting 5 games and there were 3 Bangladesh games. Obviously, that schedule will also have to be rejigged because you cannot just take matches out of Calcutta and say, okay, so Calcutta will only host 2 games now and no other game. That's not going to happen as well. So there will be some kind of a rejig for sure. It cannot be that only the Bangladesh games move out, 3 games move out of Calcutta directly goes to Colombo and Calcutta is left with no games. Will that happen? We have to wait and see. Alternative match pabe kina Onkon Ghoshal? Precisely that is the question that I was answering. First, why did BCCI even allow Bangladesh players in auction? This is a question that was asked. Yeah, but this is a question that was asked yesterday as well. Look, this is an evolving political situation. This is an evolving political situation. On the 16th of December, as I said, this could not have been a BCCI call. This is a government call based on discussions with must have been with the External Affairs Ministry and the Home Affairs. Otherwise, Debojit Saikia taking a call like this, being an astute administrator and a legal, you know that that's not going to happen. So when 16th of December political situation was in Abu Dhabi, at that point in time, it wasn't deemed as volatile. Bangladesh players were allowed to feature, but then with the deteriorating political situations, things have changed over the next 2.5 weeks. Future of cricket will not be good if politics has always been in sport. Politics, Mohammad Raihan has been part of cricket for time immemorial, will always be part of cricket, whether rather not cricket, every sport. So if you think that politics and sport, this is a new development that you are seeing, that is total rubbish. Politics and sport have forever been, whether it's Olympic Games, Hitler's Germany 1936, whether it is India versus Pakistan 1961 to 1978, the 2 countries did not even play, and then cricket happened in 78 and bilateral relations were brought back. So sport and politics are the closest bedfellows for the longest time. बुरियादा बीसीसीआई एशिया कप ट्रॉफी कब ला पाएगा? उनको ट्रॉफी से मतलब ही नहीं है, वो जानते हैं कि वो ट्रॉफी जीत चुके हैं. वो मोहसिन नकवी को अभी रखने दो, but over a period of time I'm sure that trophy will be brought back to India. Could it happen if we swap Bangla with Ireland? Yes, could have been, but on what basis? On what basis can you swap? Because then the question that will be asked is, you have allowed the Pakistan women's team to play its games in Colombo. You have allowed the Indian team to play its games in Dubai during the Champions Trophy. So how is it that you are not allowing Bangladesh to kind of have this leeway? That is what is going to happen. I need to end the show because I have a colleague who has come here for a meeting. I think I've tried to answer as many questions. This is an evolving political situation, and we've not heard. My last couple of minutes, we have not heard the end of it yet. We've not seen the end of it yet. The BCCI will react. The ICC will react. We will see further developments. I'm sure back channel talks will start. I'm sure the ICC will deliberate. The broadcasters will get in. How the tournament is rejigged, if at all, will Bangladesh be allowed? All of these details will have to be worked out over the next few days because the tournament is right there. But one thing I do know, the fans who will suffer. If there was even a few fans who are wanting to come from Bangladesh to the Eden Gardens and watch, they will suffer. What will happen to planning if the tournament is rejigged? Whether you are a fan, whether you are a media, whether you are any broadcaster, you will suffer because it will now become a logistical nightmare. If the schedule is more rigid, if other games are also rigid, it will become a bit of a logistical nightmare for everybody to manage. I'm sure the ICC knows that. They will try to do it with minor rejigs. If they even have to move the games to Sri Lanka, the Bangladesh games, we have to wait and see what happens to Kolkata, because Kolkata was supposed to host 3 of the Bangladesh matches. So like I said, we have not seen the end of this issue at all. It is an evolving political situation, and we will have to keep a very close eye. That's what we have for you today. We will keep coming back. We will keep coming back. Gargi Raut will be back at 7 p.m. with another show. Gargi Raut with the rest of the team will be back with you at 7 p.m. with a show. By then, we will have further developments on this and we will see how things evolve. Thank you very much for watching.